Hannah in Tacoma, Washington, who happens to be joining us right now on the show. Hannah, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. How can John and I help today?
I was just calling. Me and my partner just got engaged, and he actually just told me about the baby steps maybe 3 weeks ago.
Congratulations and welcome to the gang.
And so I have my $1,000 starter fund, and I've paid off 2 credit cards in the last 3 weeks.
Way to go! Way to go!
Thank you. The reason for my call is I know you guys say don't combine your finances until you're actually married.
Correct.
Which is completely understandable. But I was wondering, since I'm the one with debt and he's debt-free, would it be kind of skipping steps if I had him save up our 3 to 6 months emergency fund, because we do live together? We just don't have like joint accounts or anything, and then I continue to pay off my debt by myself while he does our 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Is that?
When are you guys getting married?
Well, we're going through premarital counseling right now, and we haven't picked a for sure date, but we were thinking about doing like a courthouse elopement now and then have a real wedding later when there's a little less COVID and a little more savings.
Little less COVID, little more savings.
Like a country song. A little less COVID, a little more savings. I like it.
So here's the thing. You were right that you guys should not combine finances. And here's the thing. You are on your own journey right now in the baby steps, paying off your debt. He's on his own journey, debt-free, building up his emergency fund. And so this is not our situation yet. And so if I'm him, I'm just saving up my emergency fund. And when it comes time for us to get married, well, guess what? We are now in baby step 2, paying off our debt.
Right.
How do y'all split the bills up right now?
We do the Susie, I can't remember her last name.
Oh,
it's like this mathematical equation where you figure out your percentage.
Susie Orman's Pythagorean theorem.
Yeah, something like that.
Was ours not good enough for you?
No. How do you determine who pays what bill?
Oh, well, we add all of the bills that are our bills, so like internet, rent for the apartment we both live in, and stuff like that.
Okay.
We just add that up, and then we find out the percentage based on who makes what amount of money.
Oh, wow. So it's skewed. If he makes more money, he has a bigger share of the bills.
Correct.
Interesting.
Even if
that was his idea.
Even if you like just leave the lights on all over the house. See how this gets messy real fast?
Yeah.
Where this makes way more sense and we get pushback from all over the place. Makes way more financial sense, marital sense, and it makes way more partnership sense. Like you and I are in this together because we got married, is to put all of your accounts, when you get married, put all of your money into the same account. And everything comes out of there. When you start dividing up responsibilities by who makes more and who does less, and all, that is a marital recipe for a relationship implosion. Because you're always going to be saying, well, I did dinner, well, then you should. You know, we always have that one friend. This is before Venmo, of course. We always had that one friend that would be like, hey, you owe me $4.28. I got Wendy's like 4 years ago. And you're like, what are you talking? That's what our marriages turn into when we live like that. I love your idea of running to the courthouse and getting married and starting from scratch here and just saying, all right, we're all putting all of our money together every month. We're combining it. There will be seasons when you make more, he makes more, whatever it is. And then we're going to build out of that together, right? I love that plan.
Right.
How much debt do you have left?
I got it down from $37,000 to I think it's like 36 and some change.
Okay.
Right
much do you
now,
make?
and I make $35,000 a year right now, but I am lucky to have gotten a job right before the pandemic where we have a union negotiated 50-cent raise every 6 months. So it's steadily climbing up every 6 months, and then I am in line right now to actually change positions sometime in maybe the next 6 months, which would change my pay grade on the scale. That's
very cool.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Well, good luck, Hannah. Congrats on the engagement. But, hey, stick to the journey on your own until you guys are married. and things will be better for it.
Yeah, so right now, just to refresh, until y'all get married, you need to have your emergency fund. He's got to have his emergency fund. And right now you are dumping everything on cash, and he's going to take an emergency fund out of his whatever magical percentage y'all have come up with. And the new algorithm.
I never heard of that mathematical formula. I feel like that would cause a lot of resentment in my house.
I can't even tell you. It just feels like such a disaster.
Jared is in Altoona, Pennsylvania. Hi, Jared. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Christina. I hope you guys are having a good day today.
We are. How can we help?
So my question kind of in a whole package deal today is my grandparents had their retirement funds in a annuity that matured after 10 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And about around last year, I looked into what their retirement plan was, and it looked like that their retirement was basically getting zero interest per year on that annuity, but they were still taking out their fees and their expenses, that the service that they had it in. And so I decided that I was going to manage their funds for them, and I decided to pull that retirement out and roll it over into a traditional IRA. But doing that, it was a 5% penalty because it was only 5 years into the annuity, and it was supposed to be.
Oh, you made that up in 1 year. That was brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, if they were making zero and you moved them into mutual funds making 10 or 12, they made 10 or 12 the first year. They lost 5, so they only netted 7. After that, they make 10 or 12. So absolutely, I would have done that.
The only thing is, it was around last year, and now the market crashed.
Oh, the market didn't crash. The market went down, and it hadn't come back up. But, I mean, overall, over the scope of their lives, unless they die this year, this is a brilliant move. But, no, I mean, you know the market can come up and down, but the average of the market has been 11.8% since it started.
Mm-hmm.
And so, let's say you cost them 5 and you made them 11, then you made them a net of 6. Now, this year you may or may not do that. Probably not in 2022, but 2023 you'll be fine. And 24, you're going to be just fine. I mean, some years you could make 17%, right? I mean, it's an average.
Yeah, I guess I was just nervous because I transferred it all over. They dropped. I mean, there's probably $100K in it, and then $5,000 off the top just came off of that.
Well, and then they lost another 12,
20%.
Yeah, then they lost another 12 or 13. Yeah. But it's not. You didn't lose it until you cash it in.
Right.
No one gets hurt on a roller coaster except those that jump off during the ride.
Yeah.
You did the right thing, Jared.
Okay.
It's exactly what I would have done.
All right, perfect. That's all I want to hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Thank
hard.
you so much.
Yeah, thank you. So the important thing to remember, folks, is this. You cannot take a single snapshot when the market's down and use that to make your judgments about your long-term investments. That's a moment in time. You can't take a single snapshot when the market's way up and go, well, I made 23% on my money last year, which I've had years I made more than that, Well, but that's not the norm. I mean, you can't count on 23%. No, but you can count on the averages.
Well, and Jared, I didn't ask his age, but he sounds young. And if he's Gen Z millennial, this may be his first time seeing the market go down significantly. So it is kind of scary. If you've, gone through this season with COVID where it's been lots of highs and a lot of people have been winning in the market, and then all of a sudden it goes down, it's easy to go, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. But somebody like Dave, you've talked about how you've seen the roller coaster throughout the years.
Somebody, are you saying I'm old? Are you saying I'm old? Somebody old like Dave. Yeah. But I mean, seriously, that's it. Pan back from the moment and get not only a little bit of the future in your peripheral vision, but a whole bunch of the past in your peripheral vision, and you see the trend across something more than 1 month or 1 year. Because if you take a 1 month or 1 year trend in any investment and use that to make your decisions, you're going to make a bad decision.
Now, I wonder, too, if some of that anxiety he was feeling was the fact that it's his grandparents' money, and they're probably needing that money right now. What would you say to that concern of, if it was Jared's money specifically, it'd be a lot easier to go, okay, I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to retire for 40 years.
Here's the thing. If you left it where it was sucking.
For sure.
It was going to go, it's costing him money every year, sitting where it is. He did the right thing. His anxiety is that he just wanted to make sure he did the right thing.
For sure. But for retirees right now who are feeling really nervous about the market, what would you say to them?
You don't need the money.
Mm.
When you retire with $1 million, you don't cash $1 million out and set it at the kitchen table. You leave the $1 million in the investment, and you live off the income. And so if this year the investment didn't go up, and so by taking some money, okay, let's take this. Let's take the 100,000. Okay, market's down 15%. All right, and you wanted to live on 10% of your investments. So if you had $100,000, you wanted to live on $10,000. Okay, so you pull out $10,000, you got 90, and it loses 15%, so you're down 25%. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the next year, it comes up 10%, 15%. Comes right back up, and you still pull off $10,000. If you keep doing that math every year, up and down, up and down, up and down, and it averages 10 or 11%, and you're pulling off 10%, you will get to even. You'll get back to the 100, and the 100 will just sit there over time. Some years it'll be 110, some years it'll be 90, and it'll be back and forth, right? But you're pulling off 10 the whole time, and it's gonna vacillate back and forth. So you're gonna be just fine. And so that's the thing. It goes down, but it's not down permanently. So it'll keep coming up, and they can live off the income. So the point is, you never, in any of this case, took out the 100. All you took out was the amount you need to live on. And then it went down a little, and then when it comes back, it needs to come back the amount you took out plus how much it lost before you're back to your 100. And it will over time. It will over time. I mean, and if it didn't, it'll be the first time in history. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today. The interest rates started going up, and the market started slowing down dramatically about 15 or 18 months ago. And we did a live stream where I very emphatically said the real estate market is not going to crash. Values are not going to tank. And here's how I know that. And I went through several data points on the air, and we had several 100,000 of you watch that live stream, and we covered some of that on the air here to let you know that the real estate market values were not going to tank, because a whole bunch of people were really upset that interest rates had gone up. They felt that the system had cheated them, and they were not going to be able to buy a home. They were frozen out of the home market, and they would sit on the sidelines and wait on the real estate market to crash and go down in value. And I explained to you why it was not going to go down in value, and it was a very simple proposition, except I went into great detail. I'm not going to do right now. But basically it works like this. When there is a shortage of an item, it's called supply-demand curve in economics. If you had a decent economics class in the 7th grade, you learned this, okay? The supply-demand curve works like this. When there is an oversupply of an item versus the demand, more if you got a glut in the market, if you can get them anywhere easily, there's not a shortage, prices go down. When there's a shortage of an item or a service in the market, a scarcity, prices versus demand, prices go up. That's basic economics, okay? So items that are scarce go up more often than not. Items that are easily available, readily available, widely available, there's too many of them produced, go down in value. Does that make sense? Everybody kind of knows that. That's kind of common sense if you think about it. So here's the deal. There is less inventory of homes for sale versus the number of buyers today than there has been in 25 years. There's a shortage of housing versus the demand. Zero chance prices are going to go down on houses during that time. I said that 18 months ago. Told everybody that. Dave, that video is not going to age well. After the crash, you're going to have to come back and tell people you were wrong. Well, instead, I'm here going, nah. I freaking know what I'm talking about. Okay, there's a difference, all right? I know a little about that stuff. I've got a degree in real estate. I've been buying real estate since before any of you were born. So, hardly any of you. So, spring is upon us. It's predicted to be another busy time for real estate. This is some stuff we just picked up out of the press. Average interest rates for 15-year fixed-rate mortgages are at 6.16% right now, down from 7 and some change just a few weeks ago. So, interest rates are trending down. Total housing inventory at the end of January was up 2% and up 3% from a year ago. Unsold inventory still sits at a 3-month supply, and there is a tremendous number of new listings coming. So we're starting to see some supply come back into the market. That's what we're seeing. But we're also seeing buyers come back into the market that were sidelined, waiting on interest rates to go down or waiting on the crash.
And for people who don't believe that, I bid on a house a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, and I got outbid by 4 different buyers.
There's a lot of multiple contracts are coming back. That's what the National Association of Realtors is reporting this. Okay? Low inventory has driven the median home price up to an all-time high. Prices went up. They didn't crash. You were wrong. They went up to an all-time high of $379,000. That's the median home price in America. In February, homes went from being listed to going under contract in 17 days, and they were at 27 days. So they're selling faster. The market is heating back up, and the slight move in interest rate down, the grass getting green in some of the markets. We're seeing the real estate market heat back up. We're seeing multiple offers in big markets like Nashville again. And let me tell you, I got my real estate license in 1978. The number of years during that, between 1978 and now, that you put a home on the market and you got multiple offers, it's been a very rare time. But prior to 2020, we were seeing some of it. And then, of course, after Fauci's pandemic, we saw people go crazy. And they came out of their homes. They were quarantined and came out looking for new houses like a Baptist looking for a casserole. They were everywhere, man. They were running around like crazy and drove prices ridiculously up in 20 and out of control. I mean, like 89 offers on a weekend, that kind of stuff. All right, that y'all remember that. That's just that's just like two and a half years ago, okay? And then it chilled. It just stopped. And the market has gone, it's continued to move, but it's very slow. The volume has been very slow, but still demand has exceeded supply, and we've seen prices go up. And now that the market's heating back up a little bit, now we've yet again got even more demand than supply, and we're seeing multiple offers again. So if you are thinking about selling a house, this is an excellent time to sell a house.
As a guy who's trying to buy one, please sell your house.
If you're thinking about buying a house, today you're out of debt, you have your down payment, you're ready to go, and the only thing you're waiting on is the real estate prices to come down or the interest rates to come down. Don't wait. Go buy a house right now if you're ready, because the prices aren't going to come down, and if the interest rates come down, you can just refinance. So you marry the house, you date the rate. That's how that works. The rate is temporary. The house is dead. So here's the thing. Median house price, all-time high in history right now. Interesting. And you thought 2020 was crazy. And you thought 2021 was crazy. All right? I'm telling you, I'm not predicting it to go nuts again, but the idea that some of you are still sitting around waiting on this market to correct is hilariously stupid. You're that wrong. And Dave, that's not going to age well. Hey, I've aged pretty well in general. There's a couple things I've missed it on, but I pretty much call it on a lot of these things. I told you Bitcoin was a scam. I told you from the start, even when all of you people that joined Bitcoin, like some people joined Mary Kay, y'all were driving me nuts, yelling and screaming at me like I'd insulted your Jesus or something. It's crazy. And it was a dadgum scam, and we knew it was a scam from the start. We knew it was a horrible idea, and yet you walked around acting like you're sophisticated, and Dave Ramsey just doesn't understand. Let me tell you guys, this is what's happening with real estate. I promise you, you can look up this particular YouTube 5 years from now, and you're going to go, yeah, that old fart was right again. That's what you're going to do. It's exactly what you're going to do. So prices are going to go up. Rates are going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. They always have, and they always will. The only rate that you cannot adjust is mine. My interest rate on my mortgage is 0 because I don't have a mortgage. That's the only one you can control. So get the house paid off. Go to RamseySolutions.com. Get you a Ramsey trusted agent to buy a house or to sell a house right now. And quit believing all this fear-mongering bullcrap that's out there. Listen, the market is slow. But demand still exceeds supply, and it has still driven us to an all-time high median price on house. Those are facts. That's called data. If you don't agree with that, you're what's known as wrong. Seriously. So if you're going to buy a house or sell a house, best time's right now. I told you that same thing 18 months ago, and I was right then, too. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Starting this hour's Houston, Texas, Tangela is with us. Or Tangela, I'm sorry. I have no idea. Tangela, how can I help?
Thank you, Mr. Ramsey, for taking my call.
Sure.
I'm calling. My husband and I, we started on our debt-free journey a couple months ago. We've been watching your YouTube videos, and just really trying to get in the mode of things. We even went to purchase the book, The Total Money Makeover, and we've gotten to the point where it's like a struggle. We're scraping to save our emergency fund by I was putting money into to purchase the employee stock. Mm-hmm. And so we took that out. We're able to use that. Mm-hmm. But then as we look at our budget, it's like we actually need that to get out the rear. We're always in the rear every month. Mm-hmm. Our money going out is like it exceeds what we're bringing in. And there's some things I wrote down.
How have you been covering that? I mean, you've been going in debt.
Have
you been going in? Stop.
We went and got a loan.
Stop. Have you been going into debt every month?
Yes, we're going into debt every month, and our problem is we're trying to figure out how. I've watched the videos about the log jam, how you got to blow some things up. Mm-hmm. We have nothing to sell. It's like we're so excited to get started, but we don't know how.
Gotcha.
And it's not because the income isn't coming in.
So what is your household income?
Okay, so a month our bring home each month. Oh, go ahead.
What's your household income a year, the two of you both?
82. Okay. 82,000.
And how much debt do you have, not counting your house?
91,000.
Okay.
We don't own a house. We're renting.
Good. Okay. And break that 91 down for me. How much do you owe on your car?
On our car, we owe, because we have two car notes. One is we had an accident. Someone hit us. They totaled out our car, so we got a cheaper car after that. We owe $10,500 on that one. Mm-hmm. And then we're paying we had the gap insurance, but they only paid, it left us with paying $40,000 on that car. So now we've got that down to $2,500. Did you say 40 or 4? 4.
Okay, so you have 10 on a car, 4 on a gap problem from a former car. Do you have another car note?
No.
Okay, the other car is paid for, or you have one car?
We only have one car,
Gotcha.
and we're paying off the gap. Okay. We pay $199 a month. We've gotten that down to $2,400.
Okay, and how much do you owe on credit cards?
Credit cards altogether, $1,000.
Okay, so what do you got? Student loans must be it.
Student loans. We owe like $51,000.
Okay, all right. That's 61, 65, 66. What's the rest of it?
And the rest of it is like a lot of, so on a furniture bill we've gotten that down now to $1,000. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it is like, say, a payday loan here, old bills. It's like old stuff that we had.
That you're not paying on right now.
Well, some of it, right. Some of it is stuff that had went in credit into collections and it's on our report, and so we gathered it up, to add into what we needed to pay.
Okay,
and then some of it is medical bills.
Yeah, let's do this. The things that you're not currently paying on, let's just set those over to the side and deal with them in a little while, okay? And then let's talk about how to do a budget, all right? How much is your rent?
Our rent is $1,360. That includes the water bill.
Good. Okay. So the way we're going to do a budget is, all a budget is I want you to jump on and get the Every Dollar budget app for your phone or for your computer. It's free. Okay. It takes about 10 minutes to do your budget that way. And the point is, you're not going to go into debt every month anymore, ever again.
Okay.
You're going to pay what you can pay. If someone doesn't get paid, someone doesn't get paid. But for right now, the first thing is we're going to balance the budget. And what we're going to do is take the income that you have coming in. Have you stopped your 401k?
We just stopped that last week.
Good. Did you get a big tax refund this year?
No, we got on our tax refund $2,000 back, and then we took that and we put it on our debt.
Got it.
That's some debt that we had.
All right. You don't want to get a $2,000 tax refund. That means you're paying in $2,000 too much out of your check.
Okay.
So one of you needs to change your W-4 at payroll and bring that $2,000 home, which would be about $150 more a month coming home. So between that and the 401k coming home, now we're starting to, you're not doing it anymore. Those two things will help you start to get the budget balanced a little bit. Now, what you do is you put your take-home pay at the top of the page, and every dollar has an assignment, and we'll just do it in order until we run out of money, okay? First thing you buy is food, and that does not mean eating out. You don't get to eat out. You're broke.
Right.
You're cooking at home. So we're going to buy food at the grocery store, and we're going to cook, and healthier anyway, and a lot cheaper. So eating out's a luxury. So we're going to put food at the top. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to pay your lights and water. You don't have to pay water. It's built into your rent. The third thing we're going to do is we're going to pay your rent, which includes your water. Okay? And we're going right down the list of things that are most important. So already we have eaten, and we have a place to live that's warm or cool.
Right.
Okay? So now we live, we live to fight another day. And then we're going to take care of the car payment because we have to have transportation. And then we're going to look around. Is there anything else we have to do before we start paying on these bills? And then your first goal is to try to go down the bills and pay minimum payments, the stated minimum payment on everything else. You've got a lot of money left over after I did those things.
Right.
You should have.
See, I think, we should have. We got a lot of foolish things like our cell phone bills for ours and our kids. They'll lose a phone. We'll go get another one. We end up financing that. So we pay $300 a month on our cell phone bill. I told my husband this month we need to cut off cable, but he's so worried about the kids not having any. Well, they need to be able.
I'm worried about your kids too. Your family's bankrupt, and you're spending like you're in Congress.
Right.
$300 a month for a cell phone bill? I mean, I'm a multimillionaire. My cell phone bill's not $300 a month. That's out of control. So you guys have got to get in there, and you got to start chopping some of this stuff out and chopping wood here. But anyway, you guys make the decisions. But if you'll spend every dollar on paper, on purpose, using that every dollar budget, and both of you agree to that, and quit just having these drama things about each individual thing. Just make the list. Make the money go, and when the money runs out, we stop spending, and it's done. That's what you do. So I think you can pay your minimum payments on everything here that you're mentioning if you set the other payments to the side, and then as you pay off that smallest one, if you can find any money, pick up an extra job, have a garage sale, find something to sell, anything you can do, pay off that smallest one. When that smallest was gone, take that payment, any other money we can squeeze out of this budget, and put it on the next one down. I don't think you've been doing the budget that way. Doesn't sound to me like you have. You still sound very out of control, very discombobulated. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Hey, Paige, welcome to the show.
Hello. My question is, my husband doesn't want to try and budget. Every time I bring it up, it's this big fight about who spends most money on the most worthless things. And I don't know how to handle that.
It's beyond that. It's the tit for tat game. You did this.
Yeah.
Well, I did that.
Man.
Well, you do this.
So how are when these conversations come up, let's kind of retro back a little bit. When these conversations have come up, have they come up in the heat of the moment, or has it been like, hey, honey, or hey, boo, whatever you call your spouse, I want to sit down and talk. Here's what I'd like to talk about. You know, is it that sort of thing? Or is it just like this is happening out of the heat of a moment of somebody opening up a bill for something?
I wouldn't say it's normally like the heat of the moment, but it's always like when we go paycheck to paycheck week after week, you always scraping the barrel. And then I'm like, hey, can we try this? And then he like gets super mad about it. And then it's just paycheck to paycheck. It's the same thing.
You just want to break that cycle.
Yeah.
Part of it, I think part of it's how you approach it. I think that if instead of attacking the conversation as we need to stop doing this, you know, we're just living paycheck to paycheck, you know, that we've got to start hitting on a budget. I think if you kind of approach it in the way of, I'm really worried and I'm really scared and I've just been noticing like my anxiety is going nuts. And I think it's because we're overspending. I think it's because we are not on the same page and I'd really like to be on the same page. What does that look like to you? Like I'd kind of throw the ball in their court of like, what do you think that looks like? And that way it's not you saying, not necessarily coming in saying, this is what we need to be doing, but just opening up that conversation. Have you tried that?
I have tried that, and I've suggested a few different things like, hey, we put both our paychecks into the joint account for bills and such. You can put X amount, I'll use like $300 for an example, into your own personal account to spend it on what you want, you know, gas station, whatever. And then once you go past that, you can't dip into the
okay, so Paige, already, can I say this? Already, it's becoming a Paige is telling. What's your husband's name? Or if you don't want to say, well,
Bob.
Bob. We'll call him Bob. We'll call him.
Oh, okay.
It's already you almost in a maternal role of, okay, we're going to put your money here and you can't do this and this. It is still this hierarchy of you being the kind of authority in a sense. And so the goal would be, just to paint you a picture, is that you are both a team. You both are equal in this. He has as much say in this as you do. You have as much say as he does. And it's you guys together saying, oh yeah, this and this and this and this, versus one telling one what to do, if that makes sense. And so
that makes sense.
Yeah, and I would say this too with an asterisk, there's naturally always going to be more of the nerd and there's naturally always going to be the free spirit. Right. So like Winston forever will love Excel and love the budget and love painting out what investments of this more than me, which is funny because this is my job and this is like what I do every day. But he actually is more of the numbers and thrives on that and more of the saver than I am. So he won't change who I am, but the way we approach our money together can still be as a team. So always know that. You still will have your own personalities. He may never just love the budget like Paige does. And that's okay. But as long as you're both in it together, that's going to be the goal. So I would want to know, do you know his hesitation, what it is that he kind of pushes back against and why he pushes back against it?
I think he likes to kind of be in control a little bit. I know he's always brought up the fact that before we even got together, I had no problem, with my money. But
so he's trying to kind of make it you're the blame. Kids are the blame.
But our lives have changed since we met.
Sure.
We live in a different place, and things are more expensive, and two kids to do through daycare, and
So I would ask him then back just to keep the conversation going, because I think Jade's point's really good. It's like I want to hear from him, and so like, okay, so you're saying that before all of this, you were, you didn't have money problems, which to a degree, duh, because you didn't have all these expenses, right? That's what we're all thinking. But also, what did you have in place that worked really well? Because he may have his own way of doing stuff that you don't see. That maybe you actually could implement. And so I think, again, it's going back to this, like, it's this team mentality, which I know is so easier said than done, Paige, because we're about to get off the air here in 5 minutes and go home. And I know you're the one that's having to have these conversations. But as much as you guys can sit down and say, gosh, I feel like this is pinning us against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we can't be against each other. Like, we are in this together and we both want to win. Like no one wants to choose to have a stressful, anxious life and marriage. And so,
and no one's trying to say whose fault it is. Like, if you and Bob can both agree, the problem is
it's us.
Like, we're paycheck to paycheck. Both of us don't like that. Both of us would love to get to a point where we've got savings and, we're out of debt. Like, if you guys can surround that and like lock arms around that, and that's where you're going to move forward.
Yeah. And sometimes, Paige, especially with guys, it's kind of a stereotype, so it may not be true for him. But I have found, like, when you can put numbers and actual facts instead of just ideas and theories of cutting back and all this, when you actually see numbers down, sometimes it helps because you can actually blame the numbers instead of blaming each other. And so I would just say, hey, one night, like after dinner, can we please, and just ask him, will you just give me an hour? And I want to pull out the bills and I just want to look and, like, what if I just want to, and help me do it, right? Bring him in. That Paige isn't bringing everything and Paige isn't telling what the numbers are. Together, we're having a conversation. So will you just sit down, because I want to know, like, okay, what are you spending on gas? And you guys just make this puzzle and lay out the numbers and kind of just do a mock budget together. Again, I don't want it to be conflict filled or tension filled. This is just bringing numbers to the table, and let that be a starting point, because I think sometimes in our heads, things can be magnified. In our heads, things can be isolating. There's so much that if we just keep up in our head and in our mind, it just can go sideways. And when things are down and you're looking at actual facts and looking at actual numbers, sometimes, not always, but sometimes that kind of like diffuses the tension, because you see that. And then from there, look at the tactical. And then also, it's like, if it's going well that night, or maybe it's another night, dream and just say, hey, what would it look like in 5 years? What does our life look like? How old are our kids? What grade are they going to be in? Where do we want to be? Like, just start to like have this vision of where you guys want to be as a family. And there's something about being proactive in that is so inspiring than just living life paycheck to paycheck, month to month, and you look up and it's been 5 years and you don't know where, you don't know where you're going. And so having that, I think, is really key too, Paige. But just know you're not alone in this. This is one of the biggest problems we hear from people, is that one spouse is on board and wants to do this and another isn't. So you're not alone in it. And also, we've heard so many couples on our debt-free stage say, gosh, I wasn't on board. I thought y'all were crazy. And then finally I got on board, and together we did this. So even couples who win start out where you guys are. So have hope, Paige, that this can change. It really can. But I think it's really the way you approach it. Don't be the mom.
Definitely don't be the mom.
Have a humble spirit about it. But bring, this conversation. It's a conversation to be had. It's not pointing fingers and blame. Even this picture of put the numbers out in front of you and like lock arms and like, it's us against you numbers. Like, you know what I mean? It's not us against each other. So
it's good.
It's powerful, Paige. It's a big part of winning, is you and your spouse. And just for the sake of your marriage, not just your money, for the sake of your marriage, I pray that that this brings you guys together. So thanks for the call.
Melanie is with us in Canada. Melanie, welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Sure, what's up?
Okay, so I have your book. We just bought it, and it's on my nightstand actually right now. And I realize I'm in baby step 3. We have $28,000 saved already.
Good.
We have 2 cars that we've bought in for cash. We don't owe anything.
Good.
On them or anything. The thing is that our take home is $5,546. We have 5 children, and the rent and food market here in Canada is we're paying about $4,100 per month. So our expenditures are going over by $933 per month, and so we're having to pull out of our savings.
So your rent is how much?
$2,100 per month.
On a take-home pay of $5,000.
$5,000, yeah.
Okay, that's untenable.
Yeah, I know. But
so you can't live there anymore.
I know. We were trying to look in the market to where we could rent, and it was by God's grace we even got into this place.
No, that's not grace. Don't blame this on God.
Oh, no, I'm not. Actually,
okay.
Not
it's a horrible situation. God didn't get you in a rental property you can't afford. That's not his fault.
in a 1,500 place before, and we were kicked out because they were moving in. We have 5 children, and here they won't rent to you unless you have a room at least for the majority of your children. And so we are in a house that is it's big, it fits us, but it's not ideal for us, and we know that. But we're looking in the market, and they won't rent to us. We actually didn't even get this place until 2 weeks to move in, because no one was even looking at our applications. They were just throwing them out. Even the landlord we had before, she was like, "You have good credit. I don't know why these people aren't calling." And we were like, "I don't know either." And then we found out that they were just chucking our application because we have 5 children. Yeah. So right now where we're at, we're looking in the market to rent somewhere else, but at the moment that is the market for rent for us at the moment. So
I'm saying that that you may not be able to afford to live in that particular area with that income.
Yeah. My husband's a pastor here too, and so he wants to stay in this area.
I would love for him to stay in that area.
Yeah.
But he's got to feed his 5 children.
I know.
That's his first, to take care of your own household first. That's what Scripture says. And
so I guess we should just continue looking for a rent.
You've got to find a rental that you can afford, or you're going to consider a longer commute, or you're going to consider a complete relocation.
Okay.
Because with that income, it's not sustainable. You know that. You're burning through your savings. And when your savings is gone, what are you going to do? You're going to be on the street.
Yeah, I already figured out we have about 2 years left of that.
Yeah, that's not.
And I don't want that.
This is not good planning, and it's not good common sense.
Yeah.
So we've got to be wise stewards, wise managers of this money, and so you're wise to catch it long before you run out of the money. But you're going to get down into your emergency fund, and this is not an emergency. This is a planned event.
Right, exactly.
You plan to be here. So is there anything we can do with his income? It's tough to do in the ministry.
Well, he's a full-time letter carrier here, and then he also is a full-time pastor, but he doesn't make any money there because it's based on the income that's coming in. If the church itself isn't doing well, the church that launched us out will cover the church expenses, but not our income or anything like that.
How long ago did you plant? How long ago did you do this church plant?
6 years we've been here.
Okay. Well, it's time for this church to grow to enough to pay its pastor after 6 years. I mean, a couple, maybe a year, maybe 2 years. But after 6 years, there needs to be enough growth there to pay the pastor. And so you guys really need to look at his career track and what God's call is on this and how to flesh that out with 5 kids. This is the Dave Ramsey Show. Jenny is in Waco, Texas. Welcome to the Dave Ramsey Show, Jenny.
Thank you for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
We're on baby step 2, and we've been on a program a month. We have a third car because my husband just started a new job at the beginning of the year that he got a company car for. And that car that he used to drive is upside down, extremely bad. It is our largest debt at $34,000. We have an opportunity over the next 3 months to be able to pay $7,000 on it, and my in-laws have offered to pay $10,000 so that we could trade or turn that car into CarMax. And I just didn't know if that's the best opportunity to get that large debt off, or do I stick with the snowball?
So the $10,000 is coming from your in-laws as a gift?
No, as a loan.
Not a chance. We do not borrow money from relatives.
Okay.
No. Absolutely not. So you're $17,000 upside down in a $34,000 car?
$18,000 upside down.
So the car has $34,000 owed?
Yes.
How in the world did you get that far upside down? You must have rolled negative from the other one into it.
It was, yeah. It was a mistake on a car purchase that we were not told that it was a salvaged car, and so we had to get rid of it, and it just snowballed from there. It was a bad mistake.
So you took a bad mistake and made it worse?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Wow.
So
what's your household income?
$1,000, and it's sitting.
Yeah.
My monthly income is $73.25.
Okay, so it's $100,000 a year income roughly, or $120,000 a year income roughly.
Yes, sir. It would take a $650 payment off plus probably half of our insurance, and that we could be able to start rolling really into our debt.
Is your credit bad?
We've owed our in-laws before, and we've just paid them off
I don't
again.
care. There's no way I'm ever going to tell you to borrow from in-laws, ever.
Okay.
The borrower is slave to the lender, and you just run all. There is no upside to that, only downside.
Okay.
They can be the nicest people in the world. A Thanksgiving dinner doesn't taste the same when you eat with your master.
Yeah.
So how much other debt have you guys got?
We've got about 105 total, including that car.
Including 34. And what's the rest of it?
Yeah, it's our largest. It's bad decisions. We were living too high for our.
So what's the rest of it
income.
owed on?
One more car. It's not an expensive car. We just owe on it.
How much?
We bought it.
How much?
And then I would say just not credit cards, but loan debt.
So you just have $60,000 and $50,000 in personal loans?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hey. Okay. So the other car is like 10 grand or something.
The other car is at 14.
Okay. Do you have the ability to get a personal loan for the hole that you're in?
No, we tried because, we tried.
Who is the loan with on the car?
On that car, it is. I don't know that one because my husband pays that bill. I don't know who it's with. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right. Yeah, you need to combine your finances from this point forward going on too, so that you both know what's going on with all that.
I just don't know who he pays. That's all. I know what it is. I just don't know what he pays.
Yeah.
He does the paying part, and I do the budget part. So we both have a hint. I mean,
Is it a bank, or do you don't have any idea?
It is a bank.
Okay.
It is a bank.
Is it a local bank that they would work with you on the deficit?
No.
And let you sign a note for the difference?
We have tried. I've tried.
With your existing lender?
Yes. We've tried everything. This was our only option, was to get the $10,000 from his parents. And
well, it's not the only option.
they just won't give us the full amount because they don't think we should sell it for that cheap. They think we should try and sell it for what other people could sell it for, which is about $24,000.
I agree with that. There's no panic here. There's just a lot of disgust. Every time you look at it sitting in the driveway, you feel stupid. But that's not a panic. There's nothing to, so I agree that you should sell the car for more, and I do not agree we would ever have you borrow from them. So what would I do? Where was the $7,000 coming from?
That's our income.
Oh, no. I thought you said there was 17 and they were going to loan you 10, and where was the other 7 coming from?
Oh, I get an extra paycheck this month, so between this month and the next 2 months, we can pay that towards it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
To get it to where we could just clean it up.
Yeah. Okay.
The CarMax would pay the 18 for it,
Yeah,
and they would.
Do not sell it for CarMax. Let's sell it for 22 instead of for 18, or 24 instead of for 18. Slow sale, but don't do that until you've got the money lined up. And it sounds like that the money is going to come from you saving up the money to do this. And if you want to do that before you start really attacking the debt snowball, you can. But it's not the end of the world either way. But I don't think I've talked you out of it, but there's not a chance I'm borrowing the money from you've got to quit borrowing your way out of these things. And, your in-laws at your age loaning you money. Oh my gosh, you got to stop this. It's just a bad practice, and it's going to bite you one of these days. There's so many control things and so many things that happen with that kind of stuff. It's just a bad idea. So, yeah, if you want to stop your debt snowball and just say, we're going to get rid of this car and cover the difference in the next few months, and then officially start the debt snowball, you could do that. If I were in your shoes, would I do that? I might. because you've got insurance issues and you've got a $600 a month payment that's clearing up, it might be worth it to get that out of the way. And there's such a level of disgust around this particular purchase that was a bad purchase rolled into a bad purchase rolled into a bad purchase. But don't give the car away for wholesale. Don't panic. I mean, $5,000 is a lot of money in your world right now. And $5,000 more getting for the market for that car rather than selling it to CarMax is helpful for the situation, and it lowers the amount that you need to do this. So, yeah, that's how I would look at it. Thanks for joining us. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Me and my husband are thinking about selling our home because we're just drowning in debt, and we just don't have any other option to try to get out of it but to sell our home. So, yes, that's
what has created that scenario where you don't believe you have any other options? Give us some details.
Well, we are just drowning in debt, and I know y'all always sell the cars, and we looked into it. We owe in one of our cars we owe like $9,000.
Okay,
and we tried to see if we could sell it, but we will be under. It's really not worth selling. It's just, I guess right now we just better off paying it off. And the other one is $12,000, and that one as well is negative. So we're like, okay, well, we might as well just try to hang on to those and try to pay those off. And everything else is loans and credit cards, student loans, IRS.
Go through the other ones.
Everything.
Go through the other amounts for us so we can get a picture of this. So the $9,000 car, the $12,000 car, what else?
And then loans, like personal loans, we owe like $20,000.
Okay.
Credit cards is around like 35 to like 40,000.
Okay.
Student loans is my husband's is like 73,000.
Okay. How much are yours?
I don't have any.
Good.
And we owe the IRS is like 9,500.
Okay.
And then I have medical bills that's like 3,000.
Okay.
Well, what's your combined income?
Combined income is like 10,500 to like 11,000
per month.
Yes.
Okay. And have you added up? If you don't know, it's okay. But if I were to ask you on the spot, like, how much does this cost you in payments every month? Do you know the number to that?
Like the debt alone is like 4,000, probably a little bit more.
Okay. So you're paying 4,000 in payments. And then tell me, what's your mortgage? Tell me about the mortgage. Tell me what you owe on it.
The mortgage is like 3,100.
Okay. And that's what you're paying per month, but tell me how much you bought the house for.
The house, we bought it for $386.
What's it worth?
Right now it's worth like $385, $387.
Well, sweetheart, if you sell the house, that's not going to give you guys much money at all.
I know. We owe $340 on it right now.
Right, but after you pay your realtor, there's very little of this that is going to actually solve this problem.
Right. That's what we were like, okay, should we just try to fight for it, or should we try to sell it and try to at least get out of it?
Jade's got something to tell you.
I mean,
the only thing we were thinking is because my husband drives like an hour and a half commute to his job.
Oh, okay.
So
Interesting.
He wanted to move closer to his job because it's a long drive.
Could you rent for less money in that location? Sorry, Jade.
That's okay.
The rent's probably going to be like $2,000.
Yeah, not much different.
Not much difference. Yeah.
Well, no, you said you're paying $3,100 per month.
Oh, yeah, that is actually a huge difference.
Right?
$3,100 plus the HOA.
Oh, that's not including HOA. What's your HOA?
$250 every quarter.
Okay, every quarter. Okay.
I would consider moving, Jade, in this situation, because that's a long way to commute, number one.
Well, there's a couple of things. You got that big commute. I was going to ask you, is it an hour and a half each way, or is that combined? Because if it's 40 minutes, that's not as big of a deal. But
no, it's each way.
Ooh, girl. Yeah,
I would definitely move
and rent. So we have to drive into the office 3 days out of the week. So 2 days he'll work from home, but 3 days out of the week he has to drive to the office.
It's still a lot. 3 hours driving in a day is a lot to get to work. So that's one green light. It's not the biggest reason because, like you said, it's not like he's going in every day, but it is a reason. The biggest reason for me to consider getting out of this house is because it's more than 25% of your take-home pay, and at this point, you need every dollar that you can get your hands on. Now, there is a thought here, and you guys need to sit and talk about this because there's a thought where I go, okay, if you guys really start side hustling, if you start picking up your income, there could be a world when this debt is over that this is not 25% of your take home. You see what I'm saying? That you raise your income and it becomes something that you can keep around. Today, though, it's really a problem. So I would say your homework to sit down with your spouse tonight would be to say, what are all the things we can do to make money? What are your opportunities that are directly related to your job, and what are mine that are? Do you both work?
Yes, we both work. So he has his main job, and then he has a part-time job on the weekends to make like some extra income. I try to work overtime. I work at a daycare, so I try to work extra, like overtime whenever I can.
How consistent can that happen? Is that like a daily thing, or is it like a couple times a month
It varies. It varies. It depends on the teachers. Like, I just found out I have COVID, so I have to be out all week.
Got you. So what I'd be looking for, when I'm looking for a side hustle, I'm looking for something I can count on. That's the whole point. So I'd be looking, if I'm going to spend the extra hours working, I want something that's like clockwork. I can get it. I can go bust my butt and do it. And it's there. So you both need that. And then if part-time pops up at the job and you have the leverage, the place in your schedule to do it, you do that too. But right now here's my main job and a go-to side hustle that's always there. I can work it every day, every weekend. Got it. So that's you guys' job to come up with that tonight. And then after that, have you made a budget?
I tried the dollar thing. I just downloaded it.
Okay, good.
I did like the free trial thing, but I'm going to have to cancel it because it's like $18 a month.
Okay.
Y'all need to stop borrowing money.
Yeah, you got to stop borrowing. Ken is right.
Yes.
Ken is right.
Like, you got in this mess because y'all are trying to do too much and you don't have enough money for it. So if you can't afford every dollar to get a budget, you better get it out on paper.
You can afford it. You spend more on pizza delivery, okay? You can afford it.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Washington, D.C. Michael's on the line. Hey, Michael, what's up?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Sure. How can we help?
Hey, so my wife and I are $65,000 in debt right now, mostly credit cards and some from a car. And right now, when we've looked at our budget, we put it on an Excel sheet, and at the end of the day, we have more going in the negative than coming in positive to spend on our daily needs.
Okay.
And we're kind of at a loss right now. Financially, we're scared for our future of what we're supposed to do, and we're so much in the negative that we can't even get to the positive. I'm trying to follow your baby steps of saving up to $1,000, and I can't even do that because I'm in the negative every month.
What do y'all do for a living?
I'm a teacher, and my wife works for the government.
Okay. What do you teach?
Elementary school.
Okay, good. Okay. And so what's your household income?
About $110 a year.
Okay. All right. How much do you owe on the car?
I owe $17,000.
Okay. Well, I hear the stress in your voice, and I have been there. You make good money. You live in an expensive area, so 110 doesn't go that far. It sounds like you ought to be able to live on that, but you're in Washington, D.C. It's expensive. How much is your house payment or rent?
It's about $2,000 a month.
Okay. That's high, but it's not what's killing you.
So where's the rest of the money go?
Yeah, your money's, there's a leak somewhere. How much do you all eat out all the time? Well, credit cards, what are you buying with the credit cards?
It's from past credit card usage.
Yeah, but you only have $40,000 in credit card debt.
Yeah, the payments are between each of them. They're about $200, $300 a month.
Yeah. Okay. Here's what I would do if I woke up in your shoes. It sounds like there is, you are being killed, death by 1,000 cuts. I don't hear a major hole in the side of the boat. I hear lots of little leaks from years of doing budgets with people. That's what I hear. Okay. So the little leaks sound like this. You're going to go on a scorched earth thing and turn this thing around because you're stuck. The good news is you're sick and tired of being stuck. I can hear it in your voice. You're a little bit scared, a little bit desperate, and a little bit pissed off. That's a really good mix for changing things because you're going to have to get radical. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start a tutoring business tomorrow. You can make $50 to $100 an hour tutoring elementary school kids in the afternoons. I've had people get out of debt doing tutoring that were teachers all the time. I hear it all the time. And there's such a need of people like you to be able to do this. And then you're not going to see the inside of a restaurant unless you're working there. You guys eat out too much. You spend too freaking much money outside the walls of your home. You don't need to go on vacation, period, until you get this mess cleaned up. You need to get the credit cards out tonight, light a candle, and have a plastic surgery ceremony, and chop them all up into little bitty stinking pieces, and you are never borrowing money again for anything. And it with the extra income and the reduced outgo, if you can, have you gotten a big tax refund?
No.
Okay. If you can't find some money in dialing this thing down with all of that, you're going to have to sell the car. But the car is not your problem. It just might be a little bit of the solution. A $17,000 car debt on a $110,000 income is not good, but it's not drowning you. And I'm talking to a guy who sounds like he's drowning.
That's right. What is split me your salaries? What do you make versus your wife?
My wife is about 60. I'm about 50.
Okay. There is a hard moment, and nobody likes to talk about this. There is a hard moment when you look at your total life. You're teaching government work, and you look at how y'all are scraping by, you're scratching your claw, and you ask yourselves, is this where we have to live? Is this where we want to live? Is there another place that we would be interested in doing life? And my wife and I have had that conversation. It's hard, it's gut-wrenching, and it also was life-giving ultimately, right? So some of those big existential questions you can have on top of the grinding and the clawing that you're doing to get out of this thing.
Now, to get unstuck. So hang on, Kelly's going to pick up, and I'm going to sign you up for Financial Peace University and Every Dollar the Premium app, and we will show you hand in glove how to do exactly what you need to do to get this mess straightened up. We'll walk with you, brother. Hold on. Gray is with us in Tampa, Florida. Hi, Gray. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Dave.
Sure. How can we help?
So my wife and I finally got scared enough and mad enough at our debt to stop our plan and start your plan. Cool. And I have heard you mention in the past, there's a couple of things that you recommend before baby step one. I believe it's term life insurance and identity theft, maybe a will. And the biggest part of this is if we are behind on our bills. So there's a couple, like a car payment and one credit card we're behind on. Do we get current before saving the $1,000, or do we save the $1,000 like crazy and then get current?
Okay, the will, the term insurance, and the identity theft insurance are just simply not a baby step. So it's not that you have to do those before you start the baby steps, but they're all something you need to do as soon as you can. Okay, but it might be that you're deep into baby step 2 before you actually implement those. I wouldn't say you have to get those done before you start baby step 1. As far as getting caught up on your bills, yeah, I would get caught up on your bills. And that's your first thing. Let's get to even. And the good news is you've already started concentrating on this, and so when you do this month's budget, you'll probably get even, won't you?
Yes, it'll probably be about 3 weeks to get even.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
So what happened, Gray? I'm curious for you guys. You said we got mad enough and scared enough.
So I got the biggest paycheck, single week paycheck in the history of my life, and it wasn't enough to pay all of our bills. And I was scared. My wife was scared the day before we got the paycheck because she saw how much it was going to be and said, that's not enough. And then I heard a debt-free scream from some people last week that they had a construction company. They sold like kitchen counters or something, and in 3 years they paid off over $1 million. And I was like, that's it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. We can do this, and eventually we won't have to be scared. But right now we're scared, but there's a solution that's not ours that we can get there.
Yeah. How old are you guys?
I am 31 and my wife is 32.
How long you been married?
4 years.
Okay. How much are your car payments?
One vehicle is $340 and the other vehicle is $360.
Okay. Probably need to sell one of them.
Okay.
You got $700 in car payments. What's your household income?
Take home about $63,000 a year.
I know you need to sell one of them.
Okay.
And you get to pick which one, but it's probably yours, not hers. So
It's definitely my pickup truck is going.
Okay. So here's the thing. You said like 5 times that you're scared, and it's a good scared because it's the kind of scared that says, I got to get out of the middle of the road, a truck's coming. Right? That's a good scared. With that, I've been where you are, and I remember how it feels to have your stomach in your throat and not be able to breathe. And I know how terrified my wife was, and we were your age. Okay? So, number one piece of information that you need to tell your wife tonight. Number one cause of divorce in North America today, of of marital fights, marital discord, is money stress. Number one cause. And you're square in the middle of it. And that terror that she feels and that hit on your self-esteem that you feel because you can't seem to get it together up until today, okay, it is they feed on each other. She's afraid her claws come out. That makes you feel less. When you feel less, that makes her more afraid, and it's a really vicious circle, okay? So you guys have to look at each other, take her hands in your hands, give her a big hug, and go, okay, we're doing this together. We are not going to live like this anymore, and we are not going to let this take our marriage. And as a matter of fact, it's going to make our marriage stronger. But you have to say it out loud, okay?
I can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, because I don't want that to sneak up on you, because even if you thought you had a really good marriage, and you may, but this is the ultimate stressor on a marriage. So just know that, if the number one way people die in your area is bear attack, there is a bear in your living room, okay? And so you go, oh, this is a problem. It's the number one thing, right? So, really, don't let the bear in the living room. And so that's what you got to do. You got to put your arms around her and hold on tight for the ride. Now, we're going to put you into Ramsey Plus, which will plug you into Financial Peace University. I want you to go through the classes together. We're going to put you in Every Dollar, the premium app. It's part of it, too, where you can do the budget together. And there's going to be a lot of people in there that are facing the same kind of stuff you're facing. We'll put you into a group. It's all on us. We're going to pay for it because I've been where you've been. The only thing I request is that you do everything we tell you to do and you go win. And then the second thing is someday when you're rich, you give it to some young couple that's scared, okay?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your generosity.
And if you get scared and you don't know what to do on some little detail thing as you're working this, you call us again. We're here for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. God bless you, brother. That's
good.
That's most people.
Yeah. Yep.
78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. When you drive down the street, 8 out of 10 houses on your street have too much month left at the end of the money. Normal in this country today is broke, and that sucks. It's not okay. It's not okay. And that's the bad news. The good news is you can do something about it.
You get to wake up every day and make a decision. And I love even the selling the car. So mathematically, absolutely. But there's almost this like jilt in your system that you need. When you've been doing the same thing, even though it's wrong, over and over and over and over, you become comfortable, you become familiar with it. And it's almost like when you change course and you do something like this, and you just do something that feels radical. And he's like, oh, it's going to be my truck. Selling the truck. Like, it's going to hurt. It's not going to be fun, but you're
Cutting
doing
up my
stuff.
credit cards. I'm going to sell the truck. I'm not going out to eat. I'm going to do some radical stuff. I'm not living like this anymore. Ah! You got to have that thing happen down inside of you. When you do, you'll be ready, baby, and we're here to help. We can show you how. But you can wander into debt, but you can't wander out. It's not an intellectual exercise. You got to get so pissed off you can't breathe. I'm getting out. And that's right where he is. He's scared and he's mad. And oh, that's a really good place to be. This is The Ramsey Show. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Mike is in Phoenix up next. Mike, welcome to the show.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing pretty well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for taking the call. Like listening to you guys, and I'm surprised I got a call in, or was able to get accepted. So that's cool.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. So throughout my life, been a pretty good saver. Followed Dave Ramsey's path and was at baby step 4, but currently it's not looking good. Purchased a house last year, and I found out that it's filled with mold, and it's pretty bad as far as options. So right now, my family, we're looking at possibly having to walk away from the home just because kind of ran out of options. And just, I love listening to you guys all the time, so I just figured, maybe they might have some advice on maybe some next steps to take.
What are your current walkaway options? What does that look like?
Short sale. Just because, foreclosure would be an option too, but short sale is definitely a better option from what
How much damage is it? What is the? Are you getting quotes on what it would take to remediate or fix it?
That's correct. Yes, it's pretty extensive. It is. I'd be so underneath, upside down in the house if I were to do the repairs.
Is it everywhere? Tell me, paint the picture.
Yeah, it is everywhere. We do suspect that there was fraudulent activities going on in the home prior. It was hidden pretty good. Not pretty good, actually hidden really well.
And you've got a professional mold inspection already done?
Correct, and a hygienist. And, I did all the proper precautions pre-purchasing the home. And the home inspector found a minor spot, in an area that wasn't even in that general vicinity. So, that's kind of, sometimes you'll find that with purchases. So, you figured, all right, that's not, we could deal with that. But then after moving in the house within just a few weeks, and things started to show up, that weren't in the area of concern, and just started getting real concerned. So that at that point, we, had a mold remediation company come out and do an invasive inspection, just because home inspections are non-invasive.
Yeah,
as I learned,
So you're telling me though the seller knowingly concealed this mold problem and provided false information.
That's what we're suspecting.
If that's the case, I would be going to a real estate attorney. I think you could have a case here. What did they say?
We've already gone down that path. And then the other thing is just my concerns. Like I want to speak with you guys in regards to more information. I've just been kind of nervous just because there is a process that I have gone, down some of the routes that you just discussed. So that's one of the things, that, I don't want to say the wrong thing, or you know what I mean, and that kind of.
Sure, I mean, I don't think you have any recourse here except legal recourse.
Right.
I'd rather you fight this thing, and in the meantime, you're going to have to find a different living situation. I wouldn't be living in that house with my family.
Yeah.
But I would be looking at all the options and seeing your legal rights are going to be the big piece of this equation to see if they'll, compensate to basically gut this home and do the mold remediation.
Right. And yeah, just for buyers, I really am. I'm a nervous buyer now. Like buying the next home is so nerve wracking.
Oh yeah, you got some trauma now.
Well, but let me say this: I ran into a situation with our current home, and it was a crazy situation. We were just doing some basic remodeling and found a wall with a good amount of mold on it, and it was coming from an area off of the roof that had not been flashed properly. And so once we figured it out where it was coming from, then we're able to address the situation. And it costs a lot of money. I mean, it nowhere near what you're dealing with. But speaking to you moving forward, I mean, a really good inspector, and you're checking for it. Mold comes from water. So where was the water coming from? And you've got some experience now. So,
oh yeah, and it's from fraudulent activities too. We suspect that it's not a natural experience that homes go through.
What does that mean?
That's my drift.
Or are they
we don't know what you
there?
mean. Are they spraying the walls on purpose? I don't understand what that means.
So as far as what we suspect is, growing.
Okay, so they have. It's not a greenhouse, but they were treating it like a greenhouse and extra moisture to grow illegal. Okay,
yeah,
there you go.
That's what we're suspecting.
All right then. So my friend, let's focus on the future here. That's
all right. I need the future, like my future self.
Let me tell you something. You have all the evidence in the world from these remediation companies that there is mold all over the place. You absolutely have got you find the right lawyer who sees the basic evidence as we've heard it, and they get rewarded. When you get rewarded, I would absolutely get a bulldog on this and fight it.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of what I've been learning, it's not pro bono, too. That's the other thing.
Nobody said pro bono.
Do you have money to pay for a lawyer?
Personal injury lawyers get paid on the back end of situations, and so I guarantee you can find a lawyer who goes, "We got something here, and I'm gonna take these clowns to the bank, and I'll get paid nicely."
Yeah.
You sound like a wounded dog, and I get it.
Oh yeah.
But listen,
sure.
but Mike, you got to fight for this.
I do.
Definitely have to. You don't have any other option. Don't take it laying down. You were a victim here. Go find a lawyer who sees it and is going to go to the mat for you.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's the total mold remediation cost?
Oh, that's hefty. We're looking at about over three. That's just remediation. That's not rebuild.
Over $300,000?
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's we're not going to do that. What's the house worth?
I don't know if I believe that.
1.1.
It's worth 1.1. It's a big place.
Yeah.
And it's totally covered in mold. They found it in every wall.
And infested.
Oh gosh. So they're basically rebuilding this house from scratch, it sounds like.
It's like bulldozer time.
Golly. Yeah, I would fight this. This is big enough that it's not it's a stupid tax. We're just going to pay it. There's no way.
Right.
Who are do you know the previous owners?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Are they reputable people like out there in the community, and this was a side thing? Huh?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, probably not.
They're not.
Probably not. I wouldn't.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, but I mean, that's my point is if we pursue suing them, like, can they even come up with it?
Exactly. That's what I'm dealing with too. That what I've heard is that I put a lien on, their home, and as you guys know, being well versed in finances and mortgages and homes and such, the mortgage company gets first. So
they're getting paid before you do, man.
That is it. So.
Mike, I'm so sorry you're going through this, man. This is just a bummer all around. We are not lawyers, but I hope you find a bulldog and you fight this thing and you call us back with some good news, man. We are wishing the best for you in this mold situation.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
We have Kristen in Houston, Texas. Hey, Kristen, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you very much for taking my call.
Absolutely. How can we help?
Well, my husband and I are in a financial transition. So we've been paying off our credit card debt for like the last 2 years. We've been chasing our tail with it. We're due to pay off our credit card debt by the end of December, maybe the beginning of January.
Okay, coming up. That's great.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Super excited. Thank you. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next phase that we want to do is work on building our savings for a down payment and closing costs to purchase real estate within the next year or two. This year, we made two big decisions. Well, actually, we made two big purchases and one big decision. We're renters right now, and our rent was going up. And my husband and I decided, okay, let's go ahead and move into an RV. Well, I already had one that was paid off. I traded that in, and we purchased one. And so that's what we're doing right now is we have a brand new RV, and we pay space rent. So that's our housing. Then my truck, which was his truck is paid off, my truck is paid off. But my truck ended up needing like $15,000 in maintenance and repairs in the last year and a half. Just to turn right around, have another $1,500 repair, and we said, forget that. We need an upgrade truck for the RV anyway. And so we went ahead and made a purchase for a truck to pull the RV.
How much did you spend?
We owe $56,623 on it right now.
56,000. Hold on. Did you say you bought a truck for 56,000?
Yes, it's a 2021 F-250 diesel for 58,000.
I'm shook.
It was a deal. It was a great deal. But our monthly note is nuts. We've already done that with our budget and all. So.
And Kristen, I'm going to just ask the assumption. It's on payments.
Yeah. The payment is $946 and some change.
Woo!
And we had to. Yeah, it's nuts.
Hold on. I gotta call you out slightly.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas season, so I'm gonna be a little bit lighthearted. First, you said it was a great deal. Then you just now turn around and said it's nuts. And just for the record,
the payment,
it is nuts.
It is.
Y'all just are about to pay off all this credit card debt. You had two paid for trucks. I'm just spelling this out for you.
Well, here's the thing is, we thought about this. We went through the budget. We did the budget on the net income, not gross, and how we could afford all of that. And so we have it all in the budget, and everything together with the truck, the RV, and the space rent, we're at about $2,100. Okay, his truck is a 2012. My truck was a 2011, and high mileage on both of them. We cannot pull the RV with either one of his or mine.
The difference is, and the hard part that you're going to realize is everything that you have that money tied up in is going down in value. And I understand that what you really want is real estate, but I don't think you guys went about the right way to get there.
Probably not. But given our situation at the time, that's where we were at.
Okay, so how much can you, let's just, real quick, Kristen, how much could you sell the truck for today?
The 21 or the 2011?
21, the $56,000.
The 21? It would have to be $56,600.
Okay, so right around there. How much could you sell RV? How much could you sell the RV for?
Right now, it's sitting at 43, so payoff would probably be around 44, 45.
Okay, so you do realize your truck costs more than where you guys live.
Right.
Okay, so there's just parts of this formula, Kristen, I need you to see is not the wisest choice. And I need you to say, wow, we should not have done this, because renting is not throwing your money away. What you guys did is you chose to take on more debt by getting an RV, and then you chose to have to go deeper into debt to be able to move the RV. So you just dug yourself into a deeper hole thinking, it was the wisest, smartest thing to do at that point. But mathematically, financially, it just wasn't. It wasn't. And so for you guys have stepped backwards a lot in this process. So I almost would say, I want everything to be wiped clean. You guys had such a great track record with the credit cards. Like you were paying down debt, debt.
No. Let me tell you right now that when we were renting, he was making lower income at the time, and we were actually in more debt over our
Then you could have gone to a cheaper rent, Kristen.
You could have.
No, we couldn't have.
Wait,
we were at,
hold on.
No.
Wait a sec. Let me draw it back. We can't help you if you don't want help. And here's what I want to make clear. Rachel and I are going to look at this and we're going to go, hey, this is not the smartest choice. We want you to be free.
Okay.
And we want you to be out of debt. Now, here's the difference. Because I agree with you in the way that renting, it doesn't feel good. It feels like we're throwing money down a black hole.
No, I could care less about renting. Renting, that doesn't bother me. I'm a real estate broker. I understand.
Okay, but what you're not understanding here is it would have been better for you to rent because rent is not debt. And you're just looking at the payment per month, but you're not looking at the grand scheme of it, okay? Payment per month doesn't matter. It matters. Does that make sense? You're looking like, oh, $2,100, it's less. But I'm like, yeah, but you're forgetting about the $56,000, the $43,000, and then the land.
$2,100 is more than what we were paying.
How about this, Kristen? What for you calling in? What was the main question?
So my main question was it's not changing what we're doing. I understand, your philosophy and everything like that, and I understand what we've done, and there's reasons why we did it.
Okay.
And I understand. I totally agree with you. Normal circumstances.
Sure.
Where we're at right now, we'll be freeing up about $3,000 worth of money every month once we pay off these credit cards.
Okay.
Which is about to be done at the end of the month and the beginning of next month.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay.
We have $1,000 in savings every month.
Okay.
And we have 1 month's reserves for bills, all of them.
Okay.
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 How would you best advise to put that $3,000 to our debt?
Yeah. How much are you guys making a year, Kristen?
In a year, his gross for this year is going to end up being year to date. It's 121.
121. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So he'll probably be about 130 by the end of the month.
And do you add anything to that as well?
No, not right now.
Okay.
I will, but
so
not
what
now.
I would
I'm a real estate broker, so it's variable.
So what I would do, Kristen, if you guys choose, we just say not to have things and motors and wheels that is more than half of your annual income. So if it were me, Kristen, I would be selling these two things, the truck and the RV, like I said earlier. I'd go rent somewhere, free up this money, save up a good down payment for you guys to get a primary home for you and your husband. After 3 to 6 months of expenses, I'd put that in a money market account. If you don't want to do that, then the next move is you have to start paying off this RV, which is $43,000, and then you need to pay off the truck before you ever think about real estate. I think what can be so hard is we can talk ourselves into something and into situations.
Yeah.
And be so clouded by maybe our own judgment, our own ways of thinking, that we keep digging ourselves deeper into a hole.
Mm-hmm.
And you're thinking, you're on the outside yelling down and no, come out this way, come out this way. And I feel like that's what we were trying to do with her, is just to show and understand. And it's just the numbers. There's parts of this that you just go back to just facts and $900 a month car payment and everything. So
yeah, I mean, look, I am the first one to say, when I hear that kind of talk, there's not much we can do, because you've already kind of painted yourself into this corner of my situation is the exception. And all of us can find somewhere where we can say that. But you've honestly got to commit to going, okay, I've got to just not make these excuses, because all of us can say, well, the way my income is set up, or, well, because we were paying this in rent, or, well, because all of us can do that.
Yep.
And whenever you do that, you automatically exclude yourself from the solution. You automatically ostracize yourself from why a plan can't work for you. You're the exception. And if you want to take on that identity, then that's the identity you have. And nothing we say is going to be able to help you. And I always hate when that happens, because I am a firm believer, Rachel, of the idea that whatever you look for, you find it. So if you're always looking for the reasons that you can't do it, then you never will.
Yep.
But the moment you just say, okay, I'm going to open up my heart, I'm going to open up my mind a little bit.
And just say, I'm going to try this plan. I'm going to try something different.
Yeah, because look, and I don't say this to be anything but real. When I first heard your dad talk, he's brass, like he's strong.
Yes.
Like he comes across. And I remember thinking, he's got more money than I do. He's figured it out. He's not living paycheck to paycheck. He's not in debt. I am. So I'm just leave it at that.
Who's winning
I'm gonna just
yep.
leave it at
yep.
that, because at the end of the day, it's like, that's where you have, like, that's the way you have to see it as, okay, like I'm still trying to figure this out. I haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
Someone who has gotten a handle on it is telling me, hey, here's what I did. And if you're not going to take advice from a person who's done it, then you're always going to be kind of like trying to fight your way out of a paper bag.
Yep.
And like you said, the light, somebody's shining the light going, it's this way.
Yes.
It's your choice.
Yep, absolutely.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.